The room is silent, too silent. A man sits across the table, his face calm, his voice steady, but his eyes betray him. His pupils expand just slightly, barely noticeable, gone in 0.2 seconds. Fear or desire? You don't know yet, but someone in that room does. Because in the world of John Wick, eyes speak first, and words come later. A blink too slow, a gaze held just a fraction too long, a pupil that dilates at the wrong moment. This isn't emotion, this is exposure. And in that world, exposure gets you killed. Now rewind, before the guns, before the tailored suits, before silence became a weapon. It begins with something almost invisible: observation. Psychology has already mapped it. Pupil dilation can shift within 200 to 500 milliseconds, triggered by attraction, stress, threat, or curiosity. The body reacts before the mind even catches up. Most people never notice it, but some people train themselves too. Men like John Wick don't just look at people, they read them. A micro expression lasting 1/25th of a second, a slight shift in breathing, a pupil expanding the moment a certain name is spoken. That's where truth slips out. There's a reason elite interrogators don't trust words. Words can be constructed, edited, rehearsed. Biology cannot. When fear hits, pupils widen to scan for danger. When desire sparks, they do the same. The signal is identical, but the meaning depends on context. And that's where the game begins. Because once you understand this, you're no longer just in a conversation. You're in control of it. You hold eye contact just long enough to create discomfort. You break it to assert dominance. You track their pupils, their rhythm, their reactions. And suddenly, you know exactly when they're uncertain, when they're lying, when they're weak. In John Wick, every stare is calculated, every glance is deliberate. The fight begins long before the first punch. It starts in the eyes. But this is where it turns dark. Because the deeper you read others, the more you start seeing things you weren't meant to notice. Confidence that hides fear, arrogance that masks insecurity, strength that is barely holding together loneliness. And then one day, you see it in yourself. Your heartbeat shifts, your breathing tightens, your pupils expand, not because of someone else, but because now you're aware, completely exposed. That's the moment control starts slipping, not in the room, but inside your own mind. And that's the fall, the moment where awareness becomes pressure, where every glance feels like a mirror, where you realize that just as you can read others, someone else could be reading you too. The game you thought you controlled suddenly feels dangerous, personal, real. But this is also where transformation begins, because true mastery was never about controlling others. It was about controlling yourself, slowing your breath when tension spikes, holding your gaze steady when your instincts tell you to look away, training your mind to remain still, even when your body is reacting at a biological level. This is the discipline that separates ordinary people from someone like John Wick. Not just the ability to observe, but the ability to remain unreadable. In the end, this isn't about manipulation. It's about awareness at the highest level. People are always revealing themselves in their eyes, in their silence, in the moments they believe no one is watching. The signals are constant. The truth is always leaking. The only difference is whether you've trained yourself to see it, or you're still blind to it. Because the real question is not whether people are hiding the truth. It's whether you're capable of seeing it when it's right in front of you.